Hello, welcome to this FTLC Flipped Instruction cohort-based mini course. My name is Dr. Kimberly Kapler-Hewitt and I will be the facilitator for this program. In this brief introductory video, I'm going to give you a heads up of what to expect, and then I'm going to go over the agenda for our first meeting and give you an idea of what I'm going to ask you to do before that first meeting. So first of all, you might feel like you're a fish swimming upstream right now as we prepare for the academic year. So I want to try to make this as simple and straightforward and brief for you as possible. So the whole purpose of this cohort-based mini course is for us as a community of learners, there are about 20 of us in the course, to learn more about flipped instruction and how we can use it in our own courses. And that entails two key components. The first is learning how to do flipped instruction, different types of instruction that lend themselves to flipping, as well as what type of technology you can use to flip. And then the other piece of that is how we can best utilize time when we have students either face-to-face or synchronously online. So that's generally what this course is all about. And then what you'll do throughout the course, and as you learn about flipped instruction, is you'll design some sort of flipped content for one of your courses that you will actually enact in the spring. And we'll be learning a lot and doing a lot so that you feel comfortable doing that by the time the spring gets here. The whole purpose of the flipped instruction cohort-based mini course is ultimately to have you implement some sort of flipped instruction that you create. And we're going to do that within the context of a learning community where we'll all be learning together and learning from each other. And that will really start about a week from now during our first cohort session. So this is a face-to-face session during which we will meet, bond, and immerse ourselves in flipped instruction. Then in September, you will engage with some flipped content online via Blackboard, and we'll have a discussion of it. So that will entail a couple of articles I'll ask you to read and a couple of videos that I'll ask you to watch, and then we'll engage in a discussion board conversation about these. And then later in September, you will set up a one-on-one coaching appointment with me during which we'll talk about what course you want to flip part or all of for the spring and what content within that course specifically you want to flip and maybe how you want to go about flipping it. So it'll be primarily a conversation, a brainstorming. Then in October, we'll have our second face-to-face session where we workshop and really start putting a plan together and working on implementing that plan for what you want to flip in spring and how you're going to go about flipping it. And then in October, later in October, you will engage in another set of content via Blackboard. So this is more flipped content, again, more articles, more videos, that sort of stuff. And again, a discussion board where we have an online dialogue about our learning. Then you'll have your second coaching session with me, again, one-on-one in November. And this is where we're really refining your plan to flip part of a course or all of a course in the spring. And you'll then start preparing for flipping. You'll be identifying or creating flipped content. You'll be planning face-to-face instruction that is student-centered and engaging. And then sometime next semester, hopefully early on in the semester, like in January or February, you'll actually implement your flipped instruction plan. And then you'll share out with the whole group during our cohort session 3 in February, where we share and celebrate our great successes with flipping and where we talk about how we can extend our learning and the learning of our colleagues in our departments and units. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an overview of what to expect. Now let's talk about the agenda for next Monday's session. So we will be meeting on Monday, August 25th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. in the new School of Education Building Room 301. Here's our agenda for that meeting. We'll start out by getting to know one another and bonding with each other. Like I said, we really want to cultivate a healthy community of learners in which we learn from each other and we learn together. Then we will view and discuss a video of how Dr. Kathleen McPhee, who teaches Russian for UNCG, flips her instruction.
Then we'll have a question and answer time so that any questions you've developed can get addressed. And then we'll have some time for brainstorming ideas for how you want to flip one of your courses. And then we'll wrap up. So I'm looking forward to meeting you all in person and getting time together on Monday. Now, in preparation for Monday's session, I'm going to ask you to do something. Actually, a couple of things. Here's what I'd like you to do to prepare for Monday's session. First of all, view the Introduction to Flipped Instruction Video Mini Lesson, or VML. VML is the term I use for short content videos that are part of a flipped instruction approach. I'd also like you to read the 2-page document, What is Flipped Learning? The link to this document is in the email you received from me. Also, view the Flipgrid How-To VML. This will introduce you to a new technology tool called Flipgrid, which allows people to create 90-second, that would be a really long video, 90-second video posts in response to some sort of prompt or question. And then I'm going to ask you to create a Flipgrid introduction to yourself. And you can find the link to get to the Flipgrid post in the email from me. If you have any questions about any of these tasks, please let me know. Thank you, and I look forward to meeting you on Monday.